Welcome back to DAZN GP today. Fresh from a weekend of dominance at the TT Circuit Assen, Ducati Corse boss Gigi Dall'Igna offered a measured and optimistic breakdown of his riders' performances. While Marc Márquez tightened his grip on the World Championship with a double victory, Pecco Bagnaia's return to the podium showed signs of a recovery in form. Speaking to Sky Sports, Dall'Igna reinforced his belief in both men, offering praise, balance, and a clear call to see the glass half full. At Assen, Marc Márquez added another dominant weekend to his Ducati tenure. But it wasn't just raw speed that impressed Jorge Lorenzo. Speaking to DAZN, the five-time world champion highlighted how Marquez's new machine allows him to win with far less peril than in his Honda days, while also saluting Aprilia's surprising surge on a circuit that accentuates their strengths. Marquez suffered a setback at Assen, fracturing the second metacarpal of his left hand in a collision with Pedro Acosta. Yet less than 48 hours after surgery in Madrid, the Gresini Ducati pilot is already rehabbing and targeting a comeback for round 11 at Sachsenring. Here's what the young Spaniard and his team have revealed about his recovery timeline, medical care, and championship ambitions. Espargaro, now a Honda test rider but formerly Aprilia's captain, has stepped into the center of MotoGP's most volatile contract conflict, Jorge Martin versus Aprilia. Speaking from Assen, the outspoken Spaniard questioned Aprilia's insistence on retaining a rider who is reportedly eager to leave, as Honda circles and legal uncertainty mounts. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. After weeks of struggle, Bagnaia showed grit and maturity at Assen, fighting back to score a crucial podium. Gigi took note. "I'm very happy with Pecco's weekend. He approached it much more positively. He was fast throughout the race, made up ground. I think we're on the right track to see the real Pecco." Gigi Dall'Igna's statement. In a season clouded by front-end grip issues and muted confidence, Assen felt like a turning point. Bagnaia showed pace and control, key indicators that a rebound may be underway. While Bagnaia remains in Marquez's shadow, Dall'Igna reminded fans and critics that improvement is often incremental. "There's work to be done on Pecco's part. I think we're doing it. You have to see the glass half full. The fastest lap wasn't an accident." Despite not taking the win, Bagnaia clocked the fastest lap of the race, a subtle but powerful sign that his raw pace is still very much alive. Marquez added another sprint/GP sweep at Assen, his second in as many weekends. Gigi's admiration for the 8-time world champion remains clear. "Marc is putting in a lot of effort to improve. I remember last week at Mugello, the first 7 to 8 laps weren't smooth. I risked a heart attack. But we're seeing exciting, non-obvious races." Even when Marquez wins, it's not effortless, nor taken for granted by Ducati leadership. His commitment, Dall'Igna says, is matched by the team's. Though Marquez now enjoys a sizable lead over Bagnaia, the Ducati boss won't let complacency creep in. "Marc has a bit more advantage over the runner-up today, but the World Championship is still long. There's still a lot of work to do before we raise the trophy to the sky." With 11 rounds still to run, Dall'Igna insists the title fight isn't over, and he wants Pecco mentally dialed in for a comeback push. Dall'Igna acknowledged the mental challenge Pecco is facing, and how Assen's tire-sensitive layout demanded caution. "You have to manage the bike's resources, especially the rear tire. I think Pecco wanted to manage the middle part of the race." Pecco's approach was calculated, not passive. Learning to manage, not just attack, could be key in avoiding further drop-offs late in races. For Gigi Dall'Igna, Assen marked not just a statistical win, but a psychological one too. Marc Márquez remains Ducati's unstoppable force, but in Bagnaia, Dall'Igna still sees a champion finding his rhythm again. The battle within Bologna's box rages on, and both riders still have the full backing of the man at the top. Lorenzo stressed that the biggest shift for Marquez isn't technique but equipment. No longer forced to wring out every ounce of performance, Marquez now enjoys mechanical parity with his rivals. Marc was used to taking a lot of risks in recent years, and that cost him many crashes. But now he doesn't need to. Finally, he has a bike that is, at the very least, at the level of his strongest rivals. Jorge Lorenzo's statement. Freed from the constant edge-chasing that defined his Honda era, Marquez can ride a more measured race, pushing when needed but staying safe when not. The result: fewer spills and more consistent podiums. According to Lorenzo, the Ducati gives Marquez the luxury of cruising at 90% pace for the bulk of the race, then unleashing full power for decisive moments, an advantage rivals struggle to match. He can run at 90% for the entire race, and when he really needs to give that 102%, he can do it. By contrast, riders on bikes like the VR46 Calyx of Bezzecchi or KTM machines of Acosta must constantly extract 101 to 102% effort just to stay in touch, an unsustainable rhythm that inevitably leads to mistakes. Lorenzo reserved praise for Aprilia's standout performance at Assen, where the RSGP's aerodynamic grip and rider confidence translated into genuine pace and a credible challenge to Ducati. On track, they're doing very well. This weekend they managed it perfectly, with great speed and taking advantage of special circumstances for them. From pit lane high spirits to tactical mastery in mixed conditions, Noali's factory team announced itself as more than a dark horse, at least on its favorite circuits. Despite Aprilia's strides, Lorenzo reminded fans that they remain the smallest factory in the paddock, still chasing the development budgets and scale of Ducati and Japanese manufacturers. It's clear they'll reach that level of evolution, but they're still the smallest factory in MotoGP. Aprilia's rise is genuine, but longevity at the front will require sustained investment. Massimo Rivola's leadership and engineering ingenuity have laid the groundwork. Now comes the test of resources. Assen offered a vivid snapshot of MotoGP's shifting balance, an 8-time champion tamed by Ducati's equality, and an underdog factory daring to dream big. For Marquez, it's about precision over perfection, and for Aprilia, it's proof that smart development can yield spectacular results. As the season rolls on, the question isn't just who's fastest, it's who can maintain that edge when the circuits and stakes get even tougher. On Sunday night, June 29th, Alex underwent subcapital fixation of his left-hand metacarpal with Dr. Ignacio Roger de Ona and Dr. Andrea Garcia Villanueva at Ruber International, Madrid. First checkup after surgery, very positive. We're starting rehabilitation. Alex Marquez statement. Completing the operation by 0:30 a.m. on June 30th, the team reported no complications. The swift first, very positive, assessment was crucial to keeping his German GP target alive. By Monday evening, less than 2 days post-op, Alex began working with hand rehab protocols devised by Dr. Ona. Gresini shared progress updates on social channels, emphasizing the rider's motivation. The surgical intervention was completed successfully. Further updates on Alex Marquez's recovery will be provided in the coming days. Gresini Racing Team Statement. Early mobilization is key in microsurgery cases. Controlled exercises will aim to restore grip strength, range of motion, and dexterity, critical for MotoGP braking and lever control. Despite the injury, Marquez remains resolute. He plans to race at Sachsenring, July 11th to 13th, where he historically performs well. With only 10 days between Assen and Germany, every rehab session is pivotal. A comeback at round 11 isn't guaranteed, but Alex's rapid medical milestones suggest he could still pack points into the second half of his rookie Ducati season. Alex sits second in the standings, 68 points adrift of brother Marc. Missing the German GP would risk ceding championship momentum in a season already dominated by Marquez Sr. While a single absence might be surmountable, the title chase between the Marquez brothers demands consistency. Every round counts, making a swift return both personally and strategically vital. Gresini's medical and technical staff are orchestrating a phased rehab, initial hand therapy, followed by on-bike simulations, and finally track testing, likely on a superbike or private test rig before Sachsenring. The close collaboration between Gresini, Ducati, and Dr. Ona's clinic underscores modern MotoGP's integrated approach to injury management. If all goes to plan, Alex will resume full riding duties in time for pre-race practice in Germany. From Assen's hospital bed to Sachsenring's grid, Alex Marquez's recovery will be a race against time, and a testament to modern sports medicine protocols. Should he make it back for round 11, he'll not only defy the odds but also keep pressure on his 8-time champion brother in one of MotoGP's most thrilling title fights. Despite his retirement, Alex's influence still echoes in Noali. He was not only Aprilia's pillar for 8 years but also helped shape Martin's career alongside shared agent Albert Valera. If there is a clause that allows Martin to leave, and he doesn't want to be there, I don't understand why the other side should force someone to stay where they don't want to be. Alex's words strike at the heart of a brewing legal showdown. Does Martin have an opt-out, or is Aprilia within its rights to enforce the contract through 2026? The reigning world champion Jorge Martin appears ready to jump ship, but Aprilia is holding him to his deal. Complicating matters, Dorna CEO Carmelo Ezpeleta has publicly warned that Martin could be blocked from racing altogether if no legal resolution is found. Aprilia claims the clause is invalid or unmet. Martin, through Valera, argues it's enforceable and frees him to negotiate, possibly with Honda. Behind the scenes, legal advisors and managers are racing against MotoGP's contract deadlines, while Martin recovers and watches his 2026 future hang in the balance. Albert Valera, one of the paddock's most respected managers, is now under pressure. It was his clause that Martin's camp believes opens the exit door, just as Aprilia slams it shut. It's a very difficult time for Albert, who in my opinion is the best manager in the paddock. When he draws up a contract, no one does it like him. As both Martin's friend and Valera's client, Alex's support here isn't neutral, but it reflects deep confidence in the legal groundwork already laid by the number 1 plate holder's camp. Even as the situation escalates toward arbitration or courtroom drama, Espargaro urges empathy. Both Aprilia and Martin are caught in a high-stakes tug-of-war, complicated by public pressure and Honda's interest. It's a very sad and difficult situation for both sides, and I can understand that. Alex, who was overtaken by Samkiat Chantra to finish last in Assen, still holds respect for his former team, yet questions their handling of the Martin split. As Honda prepares its rider lineup for 2026 and Martin completes his recovery, the next few weeks could determine whether the reigning champion returns to Aprilia, signs with Honda, or faces MotoGP exile. The contractual standoff is now a defining issue in the paddock, with legal, sporting, and emotional stakes for all parties involved. From captain to critic, Alex Espargaro once again finds himself at the center of MotoGP's most intense off-track drama. While Jorge Martin's talent is beyond question, his future is anything but certain, especially with Aprilia unwilling to let go, and Dorna looming with deadlines. Thanks for watching DAZN GP today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!